Hi, everybody. It's Andy. And the title tells you everything you need to know. I'm an addict. Not really. Um, I decided I want a microphone for my desktop as well as a travel mic that can do the right job, sound good at the desk, and if I lose it, I won't cry over $1,000. So I decided to get the Synco D2 shotgun mic, which Mike Delgado, again, that guy, I love him. He did a comparison a while back, and it's pretty amazing. So I figured I would get one. I sold via Reverb the Tech Zone Audio Stellar X2. I don't need it. I've got this pretty thing here that does a nice job. You're hearing that now. This is the Sennheiser, right? The 416. Why do I say right so much? Right? I don't know. This is the Sennheiser. This is the Synco. They look almost the same. I'll pop a picture up here in the corner. This one's a hair lighter, but they're built, it feels solid, right? It feels solid, right? I'm going to stop saying that. It has a pop filter or whatever you want to call it. And there's going to be a video after this video of me in the car doing what I did with the 416 in the car using the Audio Sigma Pod Mobile. And I'm kind of impressed. You know, it's a car, right? But the microphone itself, it's impressive. And we're going to do a test here. We're going to read a little passage from Divided We Fall by W.J. Lundy. Book 6 is going to come out today. Well, I'm going to hit OK today. I'm done. It's been done for a couple months. Just a paragraph, short paragraph, to compare the 416, which is not on, the MK4 Sennheiser, which is on, and I got to make sure I got the right gain setting for it. In fact, I'm going to keep the gain setting the same for all of them, and yeah, I have a United Artists, the hell do you call it? MK2, Mark MK2, the Universal Audio. And it's a great audio interface. So we're going to have the same setting for all three of these mics. On my setting here, it's a 52. So here we go. The colonel watched terrified as state troopers and security guards came crashing through the woods ahead of the advancing monsters and ran through the crowd of civilians at a fast retreat. Shouting warnings to run, they caused further panic in the crowds. Realizing early on that the bunker's gates were never going to be opened to them, some ran beyond it and farther up the mountain. The remaining civilians pushed themselves against the doors, crushing each other under their own weight. Okay, and now we'll do the same thing on the 416. Stand by. Okay, here we are with the 416, and let's just go. The colonel watched, terrified, as the state troopers and security guards came crashing through the woods ahead of the advancing monsters and ran through the crowd of civilians at a fast retreat. Shouting warnings to run, they caused further panic in the crowds. Realizing early on that the bunker's gates were never going to be opened to them, some ran beyond it and further up the mountain. The remaining civilians pushed themselves against the doors, crushing each other under their own weight. Okay. Now we're going to go to the new Synco. I should have done this on May 5th. Dumbass. I didn't have it then, did I? No, I didn't. All right, on to the Synco. And we're back. Now we're at the Synco. On the same, these are all the same audio settings for all three mics. I tend to use this one at a different setting. But I think the Synco and the 416 can be at the same setting and work just fine. Here we go. The colonel watched, terrified, as state troopers and security guards came crashing through the woods ahead of the advancing monsters and ran through the crowd of civilians in a fast retreat. Shouting warnings to run, they caused further panic in the crowds. Realizing early on that the bunker's gates were never going to be opened to them, some ran beyond it and farther up the mountain. The remaining civilians pushed themselves against the doors, crushing each other under their own weight. There you go. Yeah, you can't see my face. Again, that's not a bad thing. But this mic is pretty sweet. I suppose I could do this. Hey, look, it's me. Hi. So there you go. This is the Synco. I think it sounds good. I know the noise floor is low. There's a lot of low self-noise, just like the 416. The MK4 has a little bit of a higher one, but it's manageable if your room is treated, again. But if you're looking for a microphone or a couple microphones, again, the 416 is $899 on sale if and when that happens, which isn't all the time. Normally, it's $999, right? Is it worth it? Yeah. Now, the Synco, $299. Comes in a nice case. I think nicer than the Sennheiser, frankly. And with an XLR cable, small, but still nice. Everything else is the same. But $299. The MK4 is $300. So if you wanted to round out your little mic locker, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and have two mics, a shotgun mic for whatever purposes those might be for, or a, cardioid mic, you can do a lot worse than the MK4 for the money. I had a TLM49 for years, and it was great. I got rid of it. I sold it. I had it for 7 years, and I sold it because I just didn't use it. I fell in love with the 416, and there's still an affair going on there. But, you got to try to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Now, this mic, as you'll see in the car video that'll follow this video, all in one, sounds pretty good. And again, the 416 or the Synco D2, I'm going to take this one with me because if I lose this, it gets stolen, it breaks. I don't care. $200, I'll be upset, but I won't cry. The 416 breaks, I might cry. There might be tears coming down my cheeks, right? And this one's just big. The MK4 is a little bigger than I want to take with me on the road or, on a plane. But my whole kit, and you'll see it in the car for travel. And again, we're talking about auditions. And maybe if it's a self-directed commercial or some kind of thing, you could do that in a place, in a car maybe, with your little fort that you build out of pillows and shit in a hotel room or your VRBO, your Vrbo or your Airbnb. That's one thing. You're not recording audiobooks on the road. You're just not, because of the nature of the audiobook. It's the nature of that is a sound that has to be consistent over 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 20 hours, right? So you do that in your booth. But you can do an audition on the road because they're only a couple minutes, right? Right? How do I say that, man? Correct? The point is, for $500 plus tax, you can have 2 quality microphones that will do a great job. Nobody's going to give a shit what kind of microphone you truly have, as long as you sound good and act and read like you're supposed to. That's what matters. Your sound in your room, that matters too, right? But the microphones are sort of secondary to everything else. A great microphone's a great microphone, don't get me wrong, but the question is, do you need it? Or do you want it? I remember going back to high school. I had a class, I don't know, it was a private school, right? Bishop Ireton High School in Alexandria, Virginia. And there was a class, and I can't remember the hell it was, but there was something about planned obsolescence and things we buy and it's going to get thrown away. But one of the little philosophy nuggets out of it was the things that we want are often not the things that we need, but the things that we need are things that we want, right? We need to eat, so we want to eat. We want Neumann, UI 87, that kind of thing, or the TLM49. Do we need it? Probably not. Sounds good, looks good, great. This sounds good. The $300 MK4 sounds good. $1,000 416 sounds good. How much do you want to spend? What's your budget? Are you just starting out? Have you been around a while? I've been at this game 12 years. Audiobooks mostly. Have done pretty well. I have a full-time job, and I make good money doing that too, and so does the wife. So I'm not in a position where I have to necessarily penny pinch. But if I want to keep it business-centric, like spend only money from the business, right, which is kind of how you should do it. And if you're starting out, whether you're younger, older, middle-aged, I don't care, full-time, going into it, what are you going to spend, right? What is your budget? Training is most important. Coaching, that kind of thing. Room's important too. So that's like training and coaching ability, the environment, then the mic, then the audio interface. Because you need both, but do you have to spend $1 million? You have to spend $1,000 on a mic and $600 or $1,000 on an audio interface? No. $200 on this thing. A $300 or so audio interface, a nice computer, laptop. That's important, and room stuff. But you don't have to spend a lot of money on a mic. You really don't. I think I've shown that. I think Mike Delgado, who does all that stuff on the Booth Junkie, and others out there, whose names I just can't remember off the top of my head. But I watch them and I see them and I try my own shit out. And I'm maybe not as polished as they are when it comes to these videos, but I'm telling you, $200 and $300, $500 for 2 mics, and I think you'd be set. Get your environment set, get your coaching done, save your money. Don't be like me and spend a shit ton of money on mics. Because then you have to sell them, and you sell them at a loss. You're not going to get back what you put into it. The Tech Zone Audio one was $200. I sold it for like $125 on Reverb, which means I got like $100. So this thing, if you want to balance it out, I paid $100. My TLM 49 in 2016, I think, cost $1,700. Right? What did I sell it for? Just over $1,000. They got us. That's a good return, but still. So think about that when you're looking for microphones. I recommend this D2 just from what I'm hearing. I'm going to use it on the road. I'm going to put it on my desk stand, so that's my desk mic, instead of moving the 416 over there and back and there and back. I'm just going to keep that in here and this one in here. And this will be my desk and road mic, along with my Audio Sigma. And you're going to hear it in the car right after this. I'm done talking. Thank you for watching, and that's about it. It's May. Summer is coming. Be ready for it. Enjoy it, right? It's coming. I'm so excited. Maybe I'm not. I'll be in this booth most of the time. Thanks, guys. Leave me comments. Hopefully I did it right, because the last damn video from the 416 in the car, the comments were off. And, of course, if you watch it and there's no comment availability, you're not going to make one, and you're probably not going to go back. So I'm screwed. I like to see comments. And if they're stupid, I'll get rid of them. But most of them aren't. Most people are serious on these channels. So make comments. Tell me what you think. If you like this mic, great. If you don't, okay, great. Don't care. But I'm just letting you hear it, right? You have your opinions. People like their mics. They like their names. Louis Vuitton versus, Joe Smith's bag. They look the same, right? Sennheiser Neumann versus Synco, or what's that other company? Deity has a nice shotgun, I think, too. If it works, it works. If it sounds good, it sounds good. So that's about it. Watch the next video. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep trying to get up there. If you don't try, it'll never happen. And you got to try, right? Keep trying. Never give up. Never surrender. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Hi, everybody. It's Andy. I made a terrible joke, so I'm going to cut it out. I'm in the backseat of a car, my SUV, the same one I did the 416 in, sample video in, to see how it sounds inside of a car. I'm not sure it sounds the same. I'm wearing different headphones, so I'm not sure if it sounds as good as I think it does, or did, with the 416. I'm thinking it might be the headphones. These are Sennheiser's cordless wireless one that I got plugged in, because I don't want to buy another set of headphones if I don't have to. Instead, I usually use the little ones. But if I have to, I'll buy a new set. Can you hear the wind? Can you hear the traffic? Again, this is my driveway. I'm not that far from the road. There's the road. Oh, look, cars. Gives you an idea of the sound, right? I'm in the car. Here's the setup. That's the Synco D2. There's the power, right? I can update the gain. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, I'm clipping. See the red light? Oh. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It clipped and it caught it. It clipped and it cut me off. Or maybe I overloaded it. Shit. All right. Put the gain up to a proper level. All right. So that's the setup. I got an iPad here with me. And I might hold the microphone. Or try to reposition it. This is just a silly experiment. Excuse me. I'm going to read the same bit I did in the booth with the other two microphones, including the Synco. So it's 3 microphones. But here it is out here on the big old iPad. I feel like I want to be closer, right? How's that sound? Is it echoey? I don't know. Could be the headphones. The colonel watched, terrified, as state troopers and security guards came crashing through the woods ahead of the advancing monsters and ran through the crowd of civilians in a fast retreat. Shouting warnings to run, they caused further panic in the crowds. Realizing early on the bunker's gates were never going to be opened to them, some ran beyond it and farther up the mountain. The remaining civilians pushed themselves against the doors, crushing each other under their own weight. Okay, I can edit that. So how does it sound? This is me holding it. I'm actually holding the microphone. I'm holding the microphone. Is it good? I mean, I'm talking I could do a 30-second ad, right? I don't think it's bad. Here's quiet. This is just pure quiet. Shit, I should put it down. And I'm adjusting it. Sorry. Here we go. Hold on a second. I should have done this beforehand, but I'm going to do it live. I'm doing it now. What do you think? Pointed right at me. I'm guessing if I sit back here, maybe you can hear the difference, right? This is like 2 feet, maybe 18 inches. There goes a car. If I sit like this and read something, I'm talking an interview. I mean, an audition, right? How long would it take to do a 30-second? I don't even have any in here, do I? I might. I don't know. Car ads, whatever. I mean, even if I had to do an audition for an ad, could I do it in here? And I think I could with this microphone. I'll play with the sound later, but for this video, I just want you to see what it sounds like in the car with the Synco D2. You hear the birds, right? So maybe if I get in a parking garage, a place that's less birdy, that's less naturey, and, pick your spot, find your position that works just right for the microphone. But again, we're talking, it's a shotgun mic. And for $200, and I think, again, this is your car. This is not a booth. This is not a pillow fort you make in a hotel room or your Airbnb or something. This is in a car. And the question is it good enough to get an audition done? Is it good enough to do that? You can't do a Source Connect hook up through your car and, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, is it good enough to do in your car as is? And I think it is. Ooh, picked up that, didn't it? And these headphones I'm not sure about. So when I hear this thing on my computer, I'll go, here comes another car. 2 cars. Big Dodge Ram truck. That one you hear. So you got to find the right spot. But you tell me, is it echoey, boxy in these headphones? I'm not sure. We'll see when I play it on the computer and put it to the video. It's a longer video. It's going to be like 20 minutes, I think, because I cannot keep a video under 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with me. But remember, you're seeing me doing this on the Pod Sigma, Audio Sigma Pod Mobile, right? And the thing. And my iPhone. That is it, right? That is it. There's nothing magical. This is my travel rig. In the car, probably not often. Am I going to do it in the car often? Probably not. But it's a sampling, right? It's a test of the microphone, the Audio Sigma, the iPhone, the rig. How will it sound in a space that's less boxy? What if I do that? Does that help? I don't know. But experiment, right? Travel rig. Stuff to do on the road. I got to do an audition. Then I can get the job later and come home and do it in my studio. But if I do it on my phone, I've done that, it never sounds as good. It sounds like shit. It pisses me off. And I try to explain and hope they understand it. Maybe they do, but there's nothing like a proper sounding or a good sounding sound. And these microphones, in the car even, I think would pass better than doing it, on your iPhone's mic, which isn't bad, but just it's not the same. At the end of this video, I'm going to do that same passage again. I'm going to add an MP3. It's from Divided We Fall. I'm going to add an MP3 at the end. I'll record it on the phone without video and see how that sounds. If I want to add it, I will. If I won't, I won't. I'll tell you I won't. So we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. 7 minutes of... I'm dying in here. Glad it's not like super summer. It's only May, and it's actually getting warm. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope this helps you figure out what to do with your travel rigs and your cars. Because cars aren't too bad. Though this sounds a little boxy to me. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Take care, guys. The colonel watched, terrified, as state troopers and security guards came rushing through the woods ahead of the advancing monsters and ran through the crowd of civilians in a fast retreat. Shouting warnings to run, they caused further panic in the crowds. Realizing early on that the bunker's gates were never going to open to them, some ran beyond it and further up the mountain. The remaining civilians pushed themselves against the doors, crushing each other under their own weight.